Hi guys, my name is Adam Fine. I'm here to give an informative speech about sleep deprivation. Now, if you're like me, you struggle with getting an adequate amount of sleep all your life. Well, that's because of school, work, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the reason is, it happens. Everyone struggles with it. The question is, what is an adequate amount of sleep? Is it 7 hours? Is it 8 hours? 9 hours? Some people even say it's 4 hours. Those people are wrong. Today, I'm going to be talking about how sleep deprivation affects your energy levels, how it can have long-term side effects, and how it affects your mental health. Firstly, how it affects your energy levels from a day-to-day life. The National Library of Medicine did a great study on this. It has a direct quote here. It says that individuals who obtain less than 7 hours of sleep per day because of work and other activities typically sleep longer on non-work days to recover the sleep debt. So what this means is, if you, let's say on a Monday, you only get 5 hours of sleep, and let's say the average is 8 hours of sleep what you're supposed to get, that means you have to sleep 11 hours the next day to meet that quota. That's how bad, that's how important sleep is, and how quickly you get behind on it. It's kind of like homework. If you get behind on it, you just get buried. And another study the National Library of Medicine did, it was on drivers and how sleep-deprived drivers are 15% more likely to cause a crash than someone who gets a consistent 7 or 9 hours. This can be seen in the picture here. So that is this graph up here. This is percentage of vehicle crashes involving a drowsy driver. 21% is fatal, 13% is fatally injured, and 6% is overall car crashes. It is a significant jump from what it would be if these people were getting plenty of sleep. So the next topic is how it can affect your long-term health. So lack of sleep causes more stress, which releases a stress hormone, and the stress hormones increase your blood pressure, which puts you obviously at higher risk for cardiac arrest, strokes, heart attacks, and all those bad health events like that. The National Library of Medicine, again, they love all this sleep stuff. They did another study, this time on this subject. And one statement that stood out to me was, sleep loss and sleep complaints are associated with heart attacks, perhaps strokes, according to several large studies. This again directly correlates with what we've been saying. And there's a second graph here that shows that. So it's percent of people who died within the last 20 years, and whether they got more than 6 hours of sleep on average and less than 6 hours of sleep on average. The blue line is healthiness, and you can see that it's higher when you get more than 6 hours, and the heart attack and stroke deaths were down, and when you get less than 6 hours, they're way up. It is, let me get the exact number, 34% would die of either heart disease or stroke if you get less than 6 hours of sleep consistently for an extended period of time. Clearly, it's impactful. And lastly, how reduced sleep affects mental health. Columbia University, this time not National Library of Medicine, wrote an article about it, and those with mental health disorders are even more likely to experience negative thoughts, whether that's depression, and suicidal thoughts and actions. So that's a big deal. I mean, obviously, suicide is a terrible thing, and it's no joking matter, and you don't want to put yourself in the situation, so try to prioritize sleep. And this is another graph that shows deaths linked to sleep deprivation, these are in reference to suicides, and people who get on average 7 to 9 hours of sleep have a lot less chance to die because of self-harm than people who get way less than that. As people who average about 3 to 4 hours of sleep are more than double likely to inflict self-harm on themselves. Now, in conclusion, sleep deprivation leads to reduced energy levels. It can lead to stress, which leads to heart attack and strokes, increased stress levels, and it can lead to mental disorders and suicidal thoughts and actions, and overall just prioritize sleep, and your life will be better. That is my informative speech, and thank you.